Segovia, back with another one. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That really helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's get into it. Sit back, relax, enjoy your Friday, and enjoy the show.
So traffic acting is a real thing.
Yeah.
How did you get into this?
Just casting.
Central casting?
Oh, dude, we've heard about central casting. This isn't the first time that this has come up.
Is this central casting 2.0, the special one that you have to know somebody?
Yes. Oh, definitely.
How did you stop traffic?
I would be on a bike, skate across the 4 lanes, traffic dies down, builds it up.
It seems like the people who have the most to gain from this is big oil.
I can't answer that.
Oh. If there was no traffic actors, what would traffic be like in Los Angeles?
It would be great. Everyone would get around anywhere.
Oh
you
my-
could go anywhere.
I always knew something was up.
If everybody's going the same speed at the same time in the same, it should just be a flow.
It'd be like anywhere else in the world.
At any given time, how many traffic actors are acting at one time?
Oh, they're upwards to hundreds.
Hundreds in Southern
Look at all the
California.
traffic. And look at like 134, 101. The 405 alone at least has 6 actors a day.
Oh my
my God.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing this, and I'm just glad. Yeah, I'm glad someone's talking about it because we've heard this rumor for a long time.
Yeah, it's good to get it off my chest.
There's some new shit that's worse than that, right? So there's this new shit that like that's hit the market that not even Narcan doesn't work. So like more along the lines of if you start to go out on this shit, you're out.
You're done.
Basically, from what I understand, virtual reality, you can play a horror game in your own home where it's overlaying the game in your house. And to me, that just feels like there's some kind of at least indirect connection to another realm that when you're playing with this, the other side sees and might take advantage of the situation. I could go into so many different things with this, but they could start attacking you in your dreams where you believe that you're still playing the game. Only the game in your dream is actually an attack happening to you for real. They could also start playing on your sanity where you're no longer wearing the goggles. Maybe you took them off to take a breather and you start seeing things in your house. And you're like, wait, hold on. That's supposed to be just on there. And now you're wondering, are you going crazy? Are you actually seeing it? What's happening, right? And so that's what I mean. I feel like there's going to be a bag opened with this kind of stuff that will lead to other things.
I agree completely. And I think that that's very important because something I try to reiterate with my audience is that spirits aren't bound by space, time, and matter like we are. You know, I think demons or entities out there are kind of like flies on the wall. They watch, you know, what makes this person tick, you know, what's this person into. And if it's, you know, like you mentioned Ouija boards, you know, 100 years ago, that's what you had, you know, a piece of wood or whatever it may be. Now we've moved into the technology age and it's just a different kind of communication. So I think they sit and watch, they observe, they learn people and how to essentially attack, you know.
What the heck are they planning to do? The government quietly bought the domains of alien.gov and aliens.gov. You can see on this screenshot, it's public records. It was purchased by the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and you just gotta think the timing of this is awfully suspicious. I mean, there's a huge war going on. You think that the security agencies would be focused on that. I mean, you can see the date here, March 17th, and I feel like this is always used strategically, right? Because remember mid-February when the Epstein files, I mean, you just couldn't get away from it. That's when Trump announced that the alien files would be coming out when he's going to release everything related to UAPs, UFOs, and aliens. So what the heck are they going to do with this? Because obviously the domains are going to become websites, and if you look at the prediction markets on Kalshi, the odds of the United States confirming aliens are real before 2027 are now 20%. So is there a big announcement coming? Are they literally going to make an aliens website in the middle of a massive war? I mean, is this just a distraction? I don't know. Well, let me know what you guys think. The timing is just off to me.
I mean, do they even need to tell us they're real? Like, does them telling us give us validation? Like, we already know, right? And they know we already know. That's why they're going to tell us, because it's not going to shock us. Like I said, if they would have told us this in the 80s, 90s, that aliens were real, people would lose their freaking mind because we didn't have access to these 24/7, right? But now they like dumbed us down so that when they do tell us, it's like, okay, and
Seeing what's going on in Texas. Crazy things all up in the sky. Zombie warnings at a courthouse in Texas. This video was recorded by this guy right here, and thank you to the girl that reached out to me and sent it to me. This is not a meteor, guys. You can see it going around in circles and doing all sorts of weird stuff. At the same time, they heard something all the way from Ohio to New York, they were saying. It was a loud, crazy boom that shook everything. And we got this thing going on at the same time. And this is in Texas, and obviously in Texas, they're finding little pamphlets that are about preparing for zombies. And I'm not saying it's related, but I'm saying it's weird that all this happens at the same exact time. By the way, have you seen all the meteors lately? Like the last week? It's just every single day we're seeing these in the sky. And don't even lie to yourself and say it's a meteor. This thing is doing gymnastics in the sky, going around in circles and left and right. So I guess zombies is next. What do y'all think?
there's been a lot of these, y'all. Like, look at that.
A little bit. Why would they be going down like that? They're still
3 of
moving,
them?
too.
4?
And that one's decelerating. Do you see that one? It just split into
5?
two. What's happening? What?
More from these coming up.
Let me tell you this. Right?
Yeah.
Take of this what you like.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was in bed with a woman, and that's it. That's the end of my story. No, I was in bed with a woman, right? I'm lying on the pillow, and I'm looking at her face, right? Her face turned into what I could only describe as a reptilian.
A lizard.
My face went, oh my God. She looks at me and she says, I'm not a reptilian. Boom! Take it, make of that what you will. That's what happened.
Here in Van Nuys, California, massive fraud is taking place with Hospice. For instance, this location, Miracle Healing Hospice, billed over $1.3 million. Medicare paid them $966,000. Something interesting about this location. If you come right here to Miracle Healing Hospice, and if you want to knock on the door, nobody's going to answer because nobody's actually inside. And so this right here is a prime example of the millions that eventually accumulate to billions of dollars of fraud taking place here inside of California with these things like hospice, home healthcare, adult day healthcare as well. And something interesting about this location, these are all hospices. All of these are hospices. But what's super interesting about this is if you take a look at the parking lot, the cars that are in here, you have a Cybertruck, you have a brand new BMW. Over there you have 3 really nice cars, a BMW, Mercedes, and a Mercedes. And these locations are billing millions of dollars. For instance, Guardian of Angels Hospice and Blossom Hospice, they're also here. They've actually fled the location. They billed $4.8 million and $3.4 million. Massive fraud taking place here inside the state of California.
Mr. B.
I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But you got to think, like, people that are, looking for hospice for their family members, what are they? They're desperate, right? They're desperate. They're at a point of desperate, they're desperate. So they'll do, that's an easy place to scam somebody when they're desperate like that. Same with funeral homes, right? Like, who knows? Are they reusing caskets? What are they doing? But at that point in the family's time, like, they're desperate. So it's easy to do those type of things. But it's not just happening in California, y'all. If they're doing it in California, they're doing it everywhere. What makes you think it's just a democratic state where they're doing? No, if they're doing it there, they're doing it everywhere. If you're going to expose California, Minnesota, go expose Texas. Go expose these places because they're doing it there too. If there's money being made, they're doing it everywhere.
Such a fucking sellout hack that in a year from now, mark my words, you're going to go on YouTube and Mr. Beast is going to have done a collab with the Department of War. And you know what it's going to be? It's going to be straight war propaganda packaged in a game show format. And he's going to be like, hey, YouTube, I sent 1 million American men to Iran.
and it's going to do a drone shot. There's going to be a huge zoom out drone shot. We're going to find which of these American soldiers can survive the longest in Sharia law. I sent 10,000 soldiers to Iran. Do you guys see Mr. Beast bought a bank? Mr. Beast owns a bank now. Just you can put a bullet in my head.
You can get into the industry and not sell your soul, and that's why you see people not staying around long. They said no. They're like, nah, I ain't doing that. Oh, you want that? No. And they take your career away. They're like, all right, cool, you cut.
Yeah.
But the ones who did do it, you know, that's why it's not everybody. It depends on what happens when that game. They'll give you some opportunity, like you said, to get you in there and be like, you'll start living the lifestyle. They'll give you a taste.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that shit tastes good. You know what I mean? They're like, all right, cool. Well, then here's the whole thing. You only get to live 2 years of this fame. So we're getting your life ready for him because he wants that life. And he's old and he's ready for a new life.
Yeah.
And it's like this cycle of soul swapping.
I want you to think about this. Just like how you was talking about selling your soul, it could just be like conscious transfer, basically.
It's exactly what it is.
Because I'm not gonna lie, most celebrities, they not the same after a certain point. You can literally see, like,
you could tell something happened.
See, it kind of makes you think and look at people that are, you know, one-hit wonders, right? The MC Hammers, the Vanilla Ices, which have been making the videos lately, and I've been getting not a lot of slack, but people mocking, like, what is he talking about? Like, and then they start singing his Ice Ice Baby song right in the comments. Like, it makes you look at them a little different, right? Maybe he wasn't a scrub in maybe he hit that one hit that went off, and he saw a little bit behind curtains, and he said, you know what? You can have that fame. I'm gonna go do my real estate thing. You guys can have that. You can make fun of me, call me the worst rapper of all time, do whatever. You guys don't know what's behind these curtains. I know what's behind it. Like he even said with the Tupac thing, I think it was the last video, like I know too much. I can't say that. I can't speak on that too much. I know too much. Right? He saw a peek behind that curtain and he didn't like it. So he walked out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he was a one-hit wonder and he had one hit and he couldn't make it, right? I don't know, y'all, but it makes you look at the one-hit wonders a little different now.
You had a little bit of a hard time with this one.
I went to a Kamala Harris rally. My wife and I donated to the campaign, and Megan Thee Stallion played, and that was pretty epic, Bill. If you were there, I mean, it really invigorated like excitement. You know,
really invigorated the people who were already going to vote for her anyway. That's who invigorated.
There is no correct, Bill. There is no correct.
I mean, you can jerk each other off all day long. Kamala Harris lost all 7 swing states. I mean, she went 0 for 7 where the election was. I mean, that's not, you have to almost try to up that bad.
How are you doing? Everything, there's a lot going on with you.
Yeah, I've had better days, I will say.
The Oscars.
Yes.
You look gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. It took everything that day to get out of bed and make it there too. But that was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I was told that I was one of the first from reality TV to be invited, so I was like, I've got to go.
Gotta go. Did you see, were you starstruck by anyone? Did anyone sort of like...
Yeah, there were a few that I didn't know their names per se, but I was just, I was like, honestly, that day was so heavy in itself.
Yeah,
and
right.
so I showed up and it was a dream, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot going on. So it's been just hard.
I feel a panic attack coming.
That's a fucking missile.
What do you mean?
Been there. I don't know much about a glitch. Look at that, y'all. Going through our sky. That is a missile.
Holy
That's not an airplane.
shit.
Like, what is going on?
Go home right now.
Dude, either that or it's a fucking meteor.
Either way. Clean Forerunner right there. 4th gen.
Dude, that's a missile.
Yeah.
That's leaving a fucking trail. Holy.
I mean, I feel like they could actually, like, say, drone attack us or something, and they wouldn't even tell us. They wouldn't even tell us that country over there, I don't even want to say the name because my videos just get shut down. That country over there attacked us, and I don't even think they would say it was that country. They would say, like, building collapsed, right? Or a building was on fire due to electrical, something, or this building collapsed because it's just old, right? I don't even think they would tell us. That's how much they're lying about it. It's like all the news they tell us is that we're kicking their ass and we're bullying the hell out of them, and they're not doing nothing to us. They're just taking it. All their generals, all their military people, or all their planes are all destroyed, but not us. That town over there, that city over there, It's perfect. Nothing happened over there. Nothing. None of our bases. We don't hear nothing. Right? It's just us bullying the hell out of them. I don't even think they would tell us if they attacked us over here. That's how much they're lying to us.
A 630 feet sinkhole was discovered. It was straight out of fantasy. At the bottom of the sinkhole, they found a primitive forest. It was covered with prehistoric trees 130 feet tall. Experts also believe that the sinkhole could be home to many species never been discovered.
Do y'all remember when the Q folks were talking about the missing kids on the back of milk cartons were kind of just like cells? It was like window shopping, and then all those creepy Got Milk ads were telling you what celebrities were actually involved in it. Like they were pushing it in your face. I always thought the Got Milk ads were just the fact that Big Dairy was mad that people weren't buying milk anymore. Hell, I even remember in the 90s they were telling you to put Kool-Aid powder in milk. Anything to try to push the sales. And the reason I'm bringing this up right now is what is going on with the Department of Agriculture, the White House, everything. Everything on Twitter, every official page is milk ads. And I understand the whole raw milk conversation is big right now, and he signed some bill that way whole milk could go back into schools. And then all of a sudden, the entire government is pushing milk. But I remember scrolling through video after video of people breaking down those milk mustache ads. So why aren't the same people talking about it now? You pretty much have the entire government not releasing those files. So now we have celebrities and government officials now sporting milk mustaches, and no one connects those dots back. If you connected the dots then, why can't you connect them now? In reality, all this milk stuff is probably just to distract you from all the other fucking shit happening in the world right now. But I guess hell yeah, milk's back.
I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay.
I mean, that's got to be a humiliation. Like, who would do that? Who would sign up for that? Like, there's not enough money in the world to make me do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's the power and fame they want. Not only the money, they want the fame. That's what they fiend for. They fiend for that fame to be in that spotlight. Like, who wants that? Look at that. What would your mom think if you showed up to a red carpet like that? I wouldn't be able to walk in my house. That's why you never see their family around them. They're always in their little groups, their little cliques. Never see these people with their family. They might thank them at the award show, but you never see them up there with them.
Walk in, I get a glass of water, I turn around, I want to say his manager
And the
or
ones that
one
don't,
of his
this is
management
what happens
team
to them.
is there. They're talking, and that's all he remembers. I'm lying down on the bed, I step out of my body, steps out of his body. I can't fucking believe it. I can't fucking believe it. I just stepped out of my body. Am I having a dream? Is this a nightmare? What is this? I don't know what this is. So I'm confused about my death. I don't think I overdosed. I know I didn't overdose now, but I don't think I overdosed at that time. I may have had drugs in my system, but it was kind of helped along by something else. Now, this is interesting. I feel like there was another substance in his body at the time of his passing. I don't know what to call it. I feel like there may have been an injection of some level into his body to make him a little bit incoherent or magnify the effect of what he'd taken, or maybe we don't know what he took and we just put something in his arm to calm his ass down and try to control the situation for some reason. When I wake up, I cannot believe I'm dead. I'm literally out of my body. I see my body on the bed. I see my body on the bed. Something about the bedspread that he had.
The guy was like, yeah, one time, we were coming out of this thing, we robbed this truck, and, we had the mask, we got the switch car, and we drove around the corner and whatever, we pull up, we get out fucking guns, the mask, the whole thing, and we look over, and it's this cop sitting there doing construction duty. And I was like, right then, he tell me a story, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, what happened? He goes, he looked at us, we looked at him, he looked the other way. Whoa. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah. He didn't want to end up on the wall at the VFW. It was such a simple explanation for what do you think he did? And why? Like, And that's exactly what it would have been. Like that guy, next day's picture would have been up in the wall at the VFW.
Yeah.
You know, and he knew it, and everybody knew it. He decided he didn't want to do it like that.
One of the first sectors that's gonna go is real estate agents. There is a programmer that I saw who did a walkthrough of a luxury home, took the pictures from Zillow, created a nice voice on 11 Labs, and did an entire walkthrough that costs $1,000 to $2,000 that a videographer would shoot for you for a walkthrough for a home, all for $10.
$10, except without the videographer, his attitude, fucking drones,
all that
shit, gas money that he's gonna ask for to come. He might ask for a meal.
He's definitely asking for a meal.
He's gonna ask for a meal.
So you mean to tell me that you have a complete walkthrough of the home from the pictures made with AI? What do you need a real estate agent for?
Well, real estate agents are already down the can. They've already been replacing them. There's that agent that was sold like 2,000 or 3,000 homes in like, I think it was like a day or a couple days or something crazy.
Well, yeah, they were using a platform for AI agents to where there was these AI agents to go, say you're trying to buy a house, and this was in Portugal. You go to the platform, you talk to an agent, and it was an AI agent, say, hey, what kind of home do you want? This and that. They'll source it for you. Now, a brokerage holds all the homes, right? So that's where an agent goes to hang their license. Okay, I'm working with a brokerage. The brokerage just says, forget the agents. I have all the homes. I have AI agents now. And they did like over 50 million in sales.
I don't know, but who wants that? At the end of the day, the person buying the house is going to choose, I got my realtor out here. AI, like I want to be able to call her and say, hey, whatever. Like, who wants an AI real estate agent when it comes down to that? Yeah, it's going to save the brokerage, but I don't know, y'all. I guess we're a dying breed because these young kids that are eventually going to start buying houses, like my son, by then it's going to be AI. But like us, we're still old school. Like I want to talk to somebody. I want to be able to walk through the house with them. I want that, but this AI thing, it's scary, y'all. It's scary.
It's freaking me out. It looks
That is,
like a human.
what is that?
It looks like a human, and I'm scared. But I don't think I'm supposed to leave a dog. Hi. Oh, it's so deformed. It's so deformed. Did you see that? Did you see its legs? Oh, it's so. It is like. It is literally. Oh, it's looking at me. Hi. Want a treat? Want a treat? Oh, it walks weird because it's deformed. It's freaking me out, dude.
The average American is spending $83 a month on their wireless connections.
I'm spending about $32, but still on my parents' plan.
Guess how much the average European is spending? $35. That $48 a month difference times 12 months times the hundreds of millions of Americans with a wireless plan comes to $100 billion a year that Americans are spending on their wireless in excess of what Europeans are spending.
Like, my question is, why are they screwing us over? Like, this is your home base. Yeah, they don't make the Apple phones or whatever here in America, but your headquarters, it started here in America, right? In San Francisco or whatever. It started here. Why are you screwing your people over? Why ain't you screwing over them, the England, the UK? Like, why are you screwing us over and giving them all these benefits when your home base is here? Like, why? I don't understand it. With the food, with these prices, with vehicles, with everything. Like, why are you screwing your home foundation, your home court? You're screwing us over, but the other countries are giving them a 50% off discount. I don't understand it.
Rothschilds were probably the first ones to think of this. When a Rothschild member is born in the family, they're like, that's an asset to the family. I know it sounds cold, but they're like, hey, we're going to invest in them. We're going to help develop their skill sets. We're going to help them become stewards so they can handle wealth in the future. And if that person were to die in their family, they thought that's an economic loss to us. So they put insurance. And a lot of people don't understand insurable interest. They're like, can I buy insurance on anyone? No. You have to have an economic loss if something happened to them. There's a lot of story about Walmart, and they called it peasant policy. Think about a Walmart greeter, young or old. Old. And so they're signing their employment contract, and inside that contract, it gives them the right to buy insurance on them. And so now when grandpa dies, Walmart makes money, but the family doesn't. It made people really upset. Yeah. There's an insurable interest, though, because when that employee dies, there is an economic loss. And the more important the executive to the firm is, the higher the insurance would be.
What was the old story was, if you took a little drop, no, it was on the head of a pin.
That's right.
And
Drop
you put
it
it
in
in
a
the drink.
Coca-Cola. Don't matter.
It doesn't make it. And the girl would drink it, and
she's yours.
Hello, America. Girl would drink it, and she's yours. Hello, America.
So everyone was laughing back then, but I don't think anyone's laughing now. This clip is very old, but it just shows you that with this industry and these people, many of things are said in jest. So when you see these quirky, weird jokes that they make, here's a perfect example of why. There is absolutely nothing wrong with looking at them in a different light. And before anyone says these were older times or some weird way of defending it, is wrong or is right, and 50 years ago or and however many years ago this clip was doesn't change or define that.
When did you know you needed to break things off with Ellen?
I wanted desperately to have that relationship be the love of my life. What happened was that I was, through the circumstances, shut out from things that I cared about. And in order to make her feel that she was being loved, I would erase those things from my past, such as acting, and replace them with things that I thought would give her a foundation. As we got further and further away from me being able to be in public the way that would please, I began getting further and further away from my friends and my friendships. And one of the things that concerned me very much was that I was beginning to feel shut off and shut down and shut away. And I told Ellen that I needed to have friends. She said she did not want to have a girlfriend that needed that. And that is the day I left. I think it was a very difficult thing for her to trust that I was a woman who could fall in love with a woman without being gay. And I think that was a lot to process. So I tried to make that process as simple as possible by quitting Hollywood, moving to Ojai. Nothing would satisfy her soul.
He's going under the bridge, y'all. They're still coming in. You ain't never gonna stop them. I don't care what you do. Hate to fall in that freeway, though. Hope your legs ain't getting tired.
I have so many people that come to me and they talk about just everything. I was burning sage and I immediately tell them, do you even know like the origin behind sage, how it works? Do you know what you're really doing when you burn that sage?
Tell us a little bit, because baby, I don't always know the origin. Okay, so come
So
give
a
it
lot
to
of people
me.
think when you burn sage, you're clearing the energy of all the spirits and stuff like that, but actually that's not how it works. When you the history behind burning sage, the Indians used it to actually invoke spirits. So you are clearing energies, but you're also invoking the dead to come in and protect you. Like I was telling my one client, when you burn that sage, true enough, you might be clearing your energy, your home and stuff like that, but you're also inviting spirits in, and you don't know who you invoking. You don't know who stayed at that house or that apartment before you. You don't know who is attached to you, or you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know who sent what spirit to follow you or whatever the case may be, but when you burn that sage, you woke it up. You woke it up and you thought you were clearing your energy, but no, you woke it up, and then they tell you, open the doors and open the windows when you're burning it because you're going to free it. No, you're bringing it in. You're bringing the spirits inside. Like, it's deep. A lot of people be out here practicing and don't know.
These folks out here lying to y'all, okay? Opening the windows and the doors and burning the sage is actually invoking spirits, not getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just had to draw that point home. Right?
Right.
That's why. So what were some of the other things that you were doing at that time that are considered witchcraft?
It's up here, y'all. There's no... If you're at the point of my house needs a cleanse and you're burning things to cleanse, you need to cleanse this. This is what you need to cleanse. It's up here. This is what you need to cleanse. This isn't going to cleanse nothing. It's, if anything, it's going to make it worse because you put so much power into this. When the power's up here, it's up here. People don't get that. You got to clean this out. You got to filter this out. Once you filter this out, trust me, I've done. This thing used to be clouded and all that. You need to filter this out, and after you filter that out, everything's clear, y'all. You don't need no sage. You don't need no nothing. Filter this out. Life will change.
I jumped in there, and that's what they were talking about. Pandas aren't real.
Right. So tell everybody how this all got started. How we started this rabbit hole.
I was scrolling through TikTok one night, and somebody messaged me, and I for the life of me, I cannot find what that person must have got banned or something because I could never go back and find out who it was. But they said, "Hey, there's a live going on right now, and it's two scientists talking about some stuff that you talk about, and you should go in there and see what they're talking about," and sent me a link. So I went in there, and it was one of those lives where there's like, you know, the one camera, and then there's a bunch of people on the side, right? So I was like, oh wow, I'll just you know,
listen for a minute.
I'll just stalk them for a minute and see what they're talking about. And then one of the people in the boxes was talking about us. They talk about this stuff all the time and timelines and all this stuff. And I messaged them, but I don't know if they're going to come or not. And they were like, the one guy, his name was like PhD something, and he's like, you know, suit, tweed jacket type wearing dude. Right. And the other guy looked like a nice, like NASA scientist type of guy. And then, so I was like, well, I'll just jump in real quick because I got nothing better to do, you know? So I jumped in there, and that's what they were talking about. Pandas aren't real. And this is probably the first time I'd ever heard this theory. So, but I'm like, that's stuff that we talk about, you know, fringe stuff is where we live. So I'm here for it. And the guy's like, okay, so here's my theory. And he lays it all out. Like in the 1860s
1860s is when they were first discovered.
Yeah. Some guy discovered a panda. And then he brought it to the Chinese government and was like, hey, I found this thing in the woods. And they're like, that thing doesn't exist. Somebody must be pulling your leg. And they said, you know, look at all of our, you know, artwork, our charts, all our stuff. We have everything you can think of: bees, birds, fish, you know, cranes.
Even the calendar does not have a panda.
No,
and it has a rat and an ox and a dog, but no panda.
Snake.
It would have a panda, y'all.
You know, everything you can think of, but there is no history of pandas in China. There's no
drawings,
no lithographs,
stories,
no paintings,
before the late 1800s.
And the guy who found the panda pelt, it wasn't even a live panda, was not even Chinese. He was a European explorer cruising through the bamboo forests and found some native person who lived there, and they had a panda pelt.
What is this? With that 90s R&B in there, huh?
Joe Rogan is a little bit worried about the White House. And Joe said he's a little bit nervous. A lot of powerful people at the one spot at war. I had that same thought. Once I heard 85,000 people, Dan said there's gonna be 85,000 tickets, free tickets at this park. They're gonna have this seating stadium within like a mile from the White House. They said like you're gonna look to the left and you see the whole setup. And we're at war. The war, that's scary. Puts you in a mental spot where I don't want to be.
Like, it's not even the war thing. The fact that they're doing this is just not a good time for this. Whether it's 4th of July or not, y'all. This is just not, it's not a good look to me. It's not a good look. Can you imagine if the other side, I mean, is there even, it's just not a good look, y'all. People are struggling. Gas is up. Why are these people attacking the world gas where 90%, I don't know how much the percentage is, but where a lot of the world gets its gas and, you know, natural gas, whatever. Why is that country and our country bombing that? When they know damn well that's going to affect us. Why are they doing these things? And then I saw an interview at a press conference, and they're talking about, the leader is sent from Jesus Christ, and he's here to defend, like, just saying these crazy things, making fun of Japan, saying, you guys know about surprise attacks? Right in front of that lady. Disrespectful, y'all. Disrespectful. And people can say he's funny, he has no feel. No, disrespectful, y'all. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Domino's Pizza is closing 250 plus locations and filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Wendy's is closing 300 to 600 locations in 2026. Popeye's Chicken is closing 136 plus locations and also filing bankruptcy, mostly in Florida and Georgia. Papa John's is closing over 300 locations in 2026.
The jig is up, y'all.
Denny's is closing
That's
over
what greed gets you.
150 locations in 2026.
This is what greed gets you, y'all. I've told you guys. Let's see if Chili's is going bankrupt. Let's see. This is where the greed gets you. That's why I don't understand people's business mindset. Oh, the neighbor raised his price. Let's raise ours. No, let's keep it low. We're going to get all these people. By the time they sell one, we're going to sell 4. We might be a little lower, but we're going to sell 4 before he sells 1. I don't understand these people's business. This is what comes from greed. This is what comes from it.
Red Lobster is closing over 100 locations in 2026. Red Robin is closing 70 plus locations in 2026. Pizza Hut is closing 250 locations in the US in 2026. Smoky Bones is closing 120 locations in 2026. It brings me absolutely no joy to bring you this information. However, it is the real facts of what is going on in the US economy in 2026.
Chili's is booming.
Please don't spend any money. Please plan your spending, do a budget. If you found this post informative, although sad, please like, comment, follow, and share. It is important that you keep up on the economy and economic news because, as you see, it does affect you personally. These are thousands of restaurants that will be closing, which means these workers will be unemployed, laid off, and not spending money in the economy. It means all these thousands of restaurants will not be generating money in the US economy, which will overall affect the US economy.
Like, I saw a TikTok today of some girl saying, I quit my job. I was unhappy. I think I'm going to go to barber school because I like cutting my son's hair during the pandemic. I cut their hair. Like, that's cool. But like, go to school if you need to. But she was planning on just doing it on the side. Like, you can learn how to cut hair on YouTube. You can learn it, right? The barber teachers are teaching you on YouTube, and then you can just start, put an ad on Facebook, put an ad on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like, people are so stuck to, I got to go this route. I got to go this route. I got to go to school. I got to do it this. Like, you don't have to, y'all. You don't have to. But, man, it's what greed gets you with those businesses. That's why they're closing, is greed. They got greedy. Vegas is dying, all that. It's because of greed. It's not because people don't want to go. It's because they're greedy. It's not because people don't want to go to Papa John's. It's because they're greedy.
Where did the tank come from? Most people don't realize the tank was invented by the Royal Navy because the British Army thought, I have horses, why would I need a tank? That's stupid. So Winston Churchill, when he was the first Lord of the Navy, he's like, oh, I'm going to build this thing. And he called it a land ship because he could only build ships. So he built a land ship. We can't really imagine the intervening periods between the interwar period when he started doing this and the present day without tanks being a core part of how armies are formed and fight.
So I'm across the street from the La Brea tar pits. See right there? Now those were tar pits. Those tar pits have been there for thousands of years. Like prehistoric animals are, sucked into the tar. And anyway, if you know about it, it's been there for a really, really long time. So what's interesting is the tar is now coming across the street and seeping out of here. It's seeping out, and they have this barrier around them because a bunch of tar is seeping around. Now, remember that 1997 movie with Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche, Volcano? No, I'm just saying, could there possibly be a big volcano under the La Brea tar pits? Because the tar seems to be spreading all the way across the street. And it's over here too, coming up. Let's take a look at over here. It's coming up over here too, underneath this. So I don't know. Is it a sign to something to come? Big earthquake, volcano, waiting patiently.
Guy 5, Gil, what can you tell us? What is going on? This why I said AI be messing up reality. I thought this was AI. As the man above him, the rescuer, the confined space. This is a 500-pound man.
It's a big boy.
Who fell in a construction hole. Now they are pulling him up, and they're going to get him on a gurney here. What the hell is going on? See a very difficult rescue here for the
What's he doing?
that are on scene. This all started about 1:13. Is he alive? They got the call. The
What
man
are you
that fell in the
doing?
hole about 15 feet down. Now the good news is he's been alert
15
and talking the whole time to the rescuers, and so now they're going
It's a lot of weight coming down on them feet, on them ankles, on those
I'm
knees.
not
even trying to be funny when I say this. How the hell did he end up over there at the construction site? I don't see no scooter. I don't see no walker, even though I don't believe a walker would be enough for his size. How did his ass end up over there? I seen my 500-pound life. I think that's what it's called.
600.
And they can't walk for real. Like, they can take probably like 10 steps, but that's it. This joint look like it's out in the wilderness. So I'm lost.
They have this thing down in Tijuana where you go in and they literally put a fucking needle into your
in your neck.
Yeah, your
jugular.
Jugular?
Carotid, your jugular. And it's a 3-day process, and they literally put your blood through a machine, and it filters your blood, and then puts your blood back into your body. And this thing it's supposed to be incredible for people who have cancer.
Oh my God.
And it gets all this shit out of your blood, like metals and mold and all these different toxins and all this stuff. And Stephen A. Smith and Steve Harvey both told me that when they did it, like, their eyesight was better, their hearing was better, and they felt so much better.
Now I got to go do this.
Yeah, they asked me to go with them when they were doing it. I said, I don't have time to sit down there for 3 days, but I'm going to try to do it this year.
It's the club we're not in, y'all. That ain't cheap. It's in Mexico, but it ain't cheap. But that's the secrets they know that we don't know. That's the secrets. That's why they're in that club, y'all. They get all the secrets. They get a look behind the curtain. Right? They get a look behind the curtain.
Mushrooms
And they
growing
step
in
forward.
Costco's refrigerator.
Mushrooms are trash.
Hebrew National Hot Dogs. And in the bottom right here, what do I see? I see a K, right? Ultimate Goy Slop. And I don't see a K on this package. Know how this isn't how we know this isn't basically Goy Slop? He said, see that little U there on the bottom? He goes, you know what that U means. You know who that's for, right? Tell these people don't poison themselves. So I started to look over here at other brands of honey, and they don't have the U on them. And I'm like, right, because they shop at our same stores. But how are they buying products that aren't poisoning themselves? There's a little K on the bottom of that one. So, but there's not on certain brands. And I'm like, I'm sure there's some type of cryptic code, what this shit actually means.
How'd you break that addiction?
Oh, you can't break this HE. You gotta finally, you gotta die. You gotta die. Listen, I don't think people understand, like, certain things in certain moments of life, they need it. Because if I didn't smoke crackhead, I couldn't recognize a crackhead, right? Everything I did is what I needed to do. So I did it, but I'm no longer that person. But the only way to stop doing it is to kill yourself, is to die, become a new person. Because if you keep that same mentality, then you're going to be that same person forever. You're going to be stuck in that little cycle that everybody is stuck in, right? So I was stuck in that little cycle that everybody was stuck in. But then I died. And I came back a different person. But it's a problem with that because, like, we just talked about that. So the people that's watching this and they remember me from that, they're going to forever remember me for that. So who in the past? Me and them people, because I'm in the future. I'm right now. I'm in the present. But they're going to still remember me for what I did. So they're going to hold on to that. And every time they see me, they're going to think about that. So them people are stuck in the past, but I left that back there.
That's why you got to get out of your hometown.
No more, gang. I remember going to buy them roses. Gang wants to give me one of them roses. Give me one of them roses. Take a little thing off with that Brillo in there. Switch it down. Stop taking me back. Stop. Stop.
Has Iran attacked the U.S.?
Yes, because when I was over in Iraq, they are the ones that introduced the EFB, a roadside bomb. Killed a lot of my friends. This isn't what this is about. This is about what Israel wants. This is about nuclear weapons that probably don't even exist.
Trump's own Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, testified in front of Congress there is no evidence that Iran is building any sort of nuclear weapon. Don't forget that Obama signed the Iran nuclear deal. That required that in order for us not to put sanctions on Iran, that they would agree they would not seek a nuclear bomb, and they would allow international inspectors to come in and inspect anywhere in Iran to make sure that this was true. In 2018, Trump said, I want to put sanctions on Iran. Trump pulled us out of the agreement that allowed us to send inspectors in. And now we're saying they're building nuclear weapons.
Did they allow our inspectors to get in?
They did. We already had that. We took it away, and then we say we think they're building nuclear weapons, so we're going to go in.
All right, family. Quick reaction today. I didn't realize it, but we're doing like a walkthrough at the hospital today, like to let us know when you come, this is where you're going to go, this is what we're going to do. Little walkthrough, right? So we got to do that today. So I thought I'd get in here and get a quick 40-minute reaction. I still got 20 minutes left for this video. So this would have been an hour and 12, hour and 13-minute banger for you guys, but I gave you guys a quick 40-minute banger. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You made it this far. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, y'all. Second channel, y'all. I decided to hold off on those deep dives. It is difficult to edit it. People that are editing that video for me are on the other side of the world, right? So it's hard to communicate and get it to my standard, right? That's been very stressful trying to get this process going. So I say, you know what, we're going to save it. Maybe one day in the future, we'll do that on the third channel. But for now, on the second channel, we're going to stick to, the TikToks. Tomorrow's video, if I have time to do it later, is going to be on the insane tipping culture, how bad tipping culture has been. So if you guys are interested in that type of content, still TikToks, but not conspiracy type things, not world news type of things, it's going to be like, tipping culture, the price, how everything's so expensive, and people moving abroad to get out of this, things like that over there. So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys go over there and subscribe. Links down below, y'all. But I'm gonna get out of here, get this video edited, get it out to you guys. I gotta go do this hospital thing. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow for that hour banger. Later.